Happy Mounjaro Monday! Today is a very, very, very special Anchor Moments session because something really exciting happened today. And this could be one of the best Anchor Moment episodes ever on my Mounjaro journey. And I think that there are some things that can happen tonight that it might be a life-changing video for you to watch today. So, and I know I'm a little bit later than normal. So for all my buddies who always come on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Arizona time, which is 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern, and 2 in the morning in the UK, I apologize. I'm a little bit late, but something really special happened today. And I am going to introduce you to someone who is who's been watching Anchor Moments, but she doesn't comment very often on Anchor Moments. And then something happened that triggered her to find me and reach out to me. And her story has inspired my heart so much. I always say that doing these videos are worth it if I can help at least one person. If there's at least one person who goes, wow, I feel better because someone's on this healthy lifestyle journey with me. Or maybe one person hears me share how after going through menopause and having 12 months without a period, when you're an older woman and you've gone 12 months without a period, your menopause actually is officially over. The next day after that 12 months, you're considered postmenopausal. And if you bleed even one time after that 12 months, you must see a doctor because there's a possibility that you might have cancer. And so you must see a doctor because you are not supposed to have that happen. And for me, it was 13 months after my last period that I started to bleed again. And women don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. We don't share that with each other. Once you're not trying to have babies anymore and stuff, it doesn't come up. We don't talk about that with each other, and we don't mention it. But I was talking to my mom because Jeff, my husband, had always been healthy, and he got diagnosed with bladder cancer, and he had his second surgery, bladder cancer surgery, that was successful, thankfully. But I told my mom just a couple of weeks after he had that bladder cancer surgery, I had a period again. And I was so disappointed because I'd done my 12 months and I was finally thought I was done with periods forever. And gosh darn it, I started bleeding again. And she was like, oh, she was a retired nurse practitioner. And she knew, Gina, you've got to see the doctor, and you've got to see the doctor right away. And I did end up having, I needed a hysterectomy. I had precancerous cells on my cervix and in my uterus. And when they did the hysterectomy and took it all out in May, and they looked at it, and I, especially since there's high grade precancerous cells and low grade ones, and I had the high grade ones. And they told me that had I not had my hysterectomy so quickly, a year from now, I would have had full-blown cancer. And so I knew how important it was to be able to share that journey as well as my weight loss journey and my type 2 diabetes journey while taking Mounjaro, because women don't talk about this kind of stuff. And even though it's kind of embarrassing and like, oh, gross, do you really want to talk about that? Yeah. Because there's going to be someone else out there. I mean, if I didn't have a mom who was a retired nurse practitioner, you know what? And even still, I wouldn't have told my mom my period started again. The only reason I told her that is because she doesn't live in the same state as me, but I was talking to her on the phone about how stressed out I was about Jeff's cancer. I wouldn't have told her. I wouldn't have mentioned it. If he didn't have that cancer surgery, I would have never mentioned it. And then the next month when I had a period again, I wouldn't have mentioned it because I thought, well, maybe it's taken my body a while to finally shut down. Gosh darn it. And then I didn't have a period in March and I would have gone, oh, okay, well, it's over. Then in April, I had a DNC, so they took everything out. So I don't know if I would have had a period in April or not. And then in May, they took out my uterus and my cervix. And then I had them throw in my ovaries for good measure since I wasn't using those anymore either. But I would have just gone the year with sometimes having a little bit of spotting and then not having anything and then having a little bit more and then not having anything. I wouldn't have said anything. I would have just thought it's just taking my body a long time to finally quit having periods. I wouldn't have known that there was a possibility that my body was starting to make weird stuff that eventually could kill me if I didn't get it checked. So anyway, the power of one is very important. And on this channel, you can ask me anything. I'm not a doctor, so I will always tell you if you say something that is a concern, I will tell you to see your doctor. But I'm here for you because I always say too, I'm your sister from another mister, and I'm just your big sister that you can talk to. And I'll answer any questions you have to the best of my ability. And what I don't know, I'll tell you. I don't know. I need to, I'll ask my own doctor or pharmacist because sometimes I want to know some of those answers to some of those questions, so I can be more informed. And I'll always, refer you to talk to your doctor or your pharmacist, who's always easy. It's always easy to find a pharmacist. Sometimes it's hard to get into your doctor to have an appointment, but there's pharmacists everywhere and they go to college to understand all the medications and all the different side effects that medications have. And if they don't know the answer, they look it up and they go and they know where to look and to give you that answer. And so they're really wonderful resources. But anyway, today I had this miracle reach out where a lady named Claudia reached out to me, and it's so funny. She reached out to me because of a video I did with Jeff when Jeff has to get a 3-month cancer screen. And he has to do that every 3 months for 2 years. And as long as the cancer doesn't come back, sorry, so thirsty. As long as the cancer doesn't come back, then he doesn't have to do anything else. But if it ever does come back, then we'll have to do treatment again. And anyway, I always get nervous the week of his 3-month screen because I love him. And so I get a little nervous. And then I ask people to pray for him that he'll be okay. And I was at Singing Pandas, a really fun restaurant. And I'm friends with the owner, Susie Wong. And I was talking to her the other day before Jeff's 3-month check. And she gave me this cute little Jesus. It is let's see if I can go, I can get him up close, but it's just this cute little Jesus. And she gave it to me. And I put Jesus in my pocket. And I prayed really hard all week for Jeff while Jesus was in my pocket. And after Jeff's 3-month checkup, it came back that he doesn't have cancer. So he's still doing great. And we did a live both in my Anchor Moments. Hey, wait, Jeff, we're in the Anchor Moments RV. And it says Anchor Moments RV instead of Anchor Moments. Am I on the Anchor Moments YouTube channel? Or am I the Anchor Moments RV YouTube? We have 2 YouTube channels, Anchor Moments and Anchor Moments RV. The banner right there says Anchor Moments RV. But where am I?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, go check. If anyone could let me know, am I on my, because I do have 2 YouTube channels, Anchor Moments, and then we're taking Anchor Moments on the road with Anchor Moments RV. I'm hoping we're in this right place. We were really scrambling because Claudia is on vacation right now, but that vacation is part of her amazing story. And so getting all the pictures ready and everything ready to be able to have her live with us, which she will be in just a minute. And she's in the green room that I'll be putting her up on screen in just a minute.
And see that.
So is that? Oh wait, okay. I think that says Anchor. Wait, let me see. Oh, good. It does say Anchor Moments, so we should be in the right spot. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Shoo. Even though it says.
You can change the branding.
Okay, Sandra says she's in Anchor Moments, and Tina says she's Anchor Moments RV, but it looks like Anchor Moments. Yeah, so I think he just put the wrong banner on the top. Does that change if I click over here?
I can't see.
Oh, well, it's all right. As long as I'm where my Mounjaro Monday peeps are, because this one is, well, but there's a little bit about travel on this one, but it's mostly about the Mounjaro journey and female health journey here. But anyway, I shared on a video. I did a live, and we actually went live for the first time ever using StreamYard. We're able to go live in our regular Anchor Moments and in Anchor Moments RV. And I wanted to let everybody know right away from the parking lot of the doctor's office that Jeff was okay. And to thank everybody for praying for him and that he's okay. And that means we can travel again. And so we're really excited about that, to be able to travel again. And I had my little Jesus out and said, I even had my little Jesus in my pocket while I was during his visit, and all week long, just to keep reminding myself to keep praying. And well, son of a gun, it is such a small world, but a gal who's been watching Anchor Moments and not putting comments in, but showing up and watching. She has a bunch of these little Jesuses, and she loves these little Jesuses. And she reached out to me and said, "Oh my gosh, Gina, I really do feel like you're my sister from another mister. You are my Bopsy twin." And when she said Bopsy twin, I'm like, are you kidding me? I have one of my best friends, Cynthia Hardy. We have the exact same personality. Oh my gosh. And we both married husbands who are introverts. And I always call her my Bopsy twin. And so as a joke, she calls me Bopsy G and I call her Bopsy C, and we are the Bopsy twins. And I was the first one to call Cynthia my Bopsy twin. And we've been doing that for years and years and years. So when Claudia reached out and said, "Oh my gosh, I feel like you're my Bopsy twin," and then she shared a little bit about her story, I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get her live tonight while she is right now living her dream, because it's possible. Do you know, if this is your first time watching, my name is Gina and I have type 2 diabetes, and this is my week number 58 taking Mounjaro. I'm down 40 pounds. I lost 2 pounds last week, so I went from 38 pounds to 40 pounds last week. This week, still at 40, so I maintained, but I didn't gain any weight, so that's always a big win. And so I'm down 40 pounds in 58 weeks, and I've been sharing my journey every single Monday night, and I give myself my shot live. If I remember, I give myself my shot live. And at the beginning of this year in January, I talked about power words. Instead of having to do a big long list of New Year's resolutions that, by the time February hits are already out the door and you dropped them and don't do them and you don't get them completed. If instead you pick a power word, one powerful word that you want to concentrate on all year. You can put it on a vision board and you can create a vision board with your power word. You can just write your power word on a piece of paper and keep it in your pocket and look at it from time to time, just like I had my little Jesus in my pocket all week, remembering to pray for Jeff. You can put your power word on the refrigerator or on your mirror in your bedroom, but you concentrate on your power word and you think about all the different ways that you could be the best version of yourself if you utilized that power word in your life and to help you visualize. And my power word this year is explore, and Jeff's is embrace. And for the first time ever, I created actually a vision board at a vision board party at my friend Tabitha Dumas's house. And I've been wanting to do that for years. She's the one who first taught me about power words. 3 years ago, my power word was grace. I wanted to give myself grace. I wanted to give other people grace. And when we picked up our van that has been turned into an RV on the inside, we like to name our vehicles, and we named her Grace because we want to travel in God's grace. And then last year, my power word, I chose two. I chose health and travel. And that's when I started taking Mounjaro on January 10th. And my A1C was out of control, and now it's 5.6. I had stage 1 fatty liver disease before I started Mounjaro. And that is 100% gone. My liver was scanned and there is 0 fat on my liver. My liver is perfect now. And so my health part worked, and we started traveling last fall in the van after Jeff's cancer got better and my hysterectomy. After I finally healed from my hysterectomy last fall, I started traveling. So this year, I want to explore healthy recipes using other fruits and vegetables that I don't normally eat. So I have a variety of healthy things to eat. And I want to be able to travel and explore the country. And Jeff, he's Mr. Safety. And when we go places, he's always trying to do things the safest way possible. But sometimes that gives him more fear than pleasure. And so this year, his word is embrace, because he's going to embrace the fear and do it anyway.
I'm not going to embrace the fear.
Hey, what are you going to embrace? Embrace the
challenge, maybe.
The challenge, and do it anyway and have so much fun. There were some things we did in the fall that Jeff didn't want to do because he had some fear with it, and I talked him into it. And those were the best times we had out of that trip.
She says.
So this is our vision board. And now I am going to introduce you to Claudia, and she is going to share some of her Mounjaro journey. She started in January of last year, same month as me. And her doctor gave her something that was like a vision board. And it gave her a dream that came true. And she's living that dream this very minute. That's why I couldn't wait to have her on for a different week. I needed to do it right now so you can meet Claudia right now, today, while she is living that dream. And I believe all of you can live your dream too. And if you haven't picked a power word yet this year, find one. Find one. It's never too late. And then let me know later.
You can't choose embrace. That's mine.
You can do copycats. That's fine. Flattery is something is the
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say, Jeff. Thank you. So yes, but you pick whatever word you want. And in comments right now, if you have a power word, put down what your power word is. And if you haven't thought of one yet, by the end of tonight, and one comes to your mind, go ahead and put it in the chat, and we will share your power words too. Because I'm telling you, it makes a difference because it helps you visualize and reach for something that you really want. Okay? All right. And now, no further ado, Miss Claudia. So I'm going to unmute her and click her on here. Yay!
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Claudia.
Hi. Where do you guys think I'm at?
Oh, look at that beautiful flower necklace. Is that necklace made out of pure, real, fresh flowers?
Yes, I made it myself this morning in a flower lay making class.
Wow, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us a little bit about your journey, Claudia, and how you ended up where you are wearing these beautiful flowers.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Claudia. I too started my GLP-1 journey in January of 2024. I'm on week between 57 and 58 currently, like Gina. I just titrated up to 10 3 weeks ago, like Gina.
Yeah, I'm on 10.
So interesting, yeah. And so part of what happened with me, I saw Gina post about, and at the time, I was not sure to mention this to my doctor, not mention it because it was so minuscule, about the size of my little nail, pale pink, wasn't even red. They're like, wait, is that like, what is that from? Like, what could that be? And I'm like, it can't be blood. It's too pale. So I already had a standing appointment just for my annual checkup the following week. So I said, I'm going to mention it. When I went to that appointment, I mentioned it to that doctor, and she said, I don't like this. I said, why? She goes, you're postmenopausal, and usually when there's any bleeding, no matter how much, she goes, it's usually not a good thing. She goes, can we do a biopsy today? It's just like, what?
Yeah.
Okay. And so she did it. And she told me, I will contact you within the week, and you will hear from me. And she goes, let's hope it's good news. I said, okay. She called me the very next afternoon. She said, hi, how are you? I'm like, okay, a little nervous to hear from you so soon, but what's up? She goes, there's no other way to say it than to inform you that you have cancer of the uterus. She goes, it's very, very small from what we can tell right now. She goes, we're going to run further tests to stage it properly. And we need you to get a scan. We need, and it just started. And we're going to set you up with an oncologist. And everything was just like boom, 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 which I was grateful for. And that my insurance covered it. And I was able to move quickly. So they did stage it at FIGO grade 1, which is the very beginning. But I stopped and think about this. So that standing appointment was 1 week after I had that little minute little pale pink. Had I not said nothing, a whole year would have went by till my next appointment, and I would have been in a mess by then. I would have been
A
in
huge
a world of hurt.
mess.
Huge mess.
Yep.
So, ladies, the minute you suspect anything, mention it to your doctors. Like Gina said, I'm not a physician. I'm not trying to give any medical advice at all other than my own experience and what happened with me. But like Gina's experience, I'm sure that people have heard her words and gone to their doctor and spoken up about it that otherwise would not have. And then they would be in so much more trouble. So I was fortunate that I was able to have this surgery pretty quick. Actually, Valentine's Day was my surgery.
Wow.
So that's why I came on the trip this time too. I'll get a little further into that. But Valentine's Day was my surgery. And I stayed one night. and everything went really well. And let me back up a little bit. So between the time I got diagnosed and the time I had the surgery, I started having some kind of weird palpitations. And they chalked it up now, looking back, to like anxiety. But they
Mhm.
run a whole host of heart tests just to make
Mhm.
sure nothing was going on with my heart. Plus, they always need to make sure your heart's good for surgery anyway.
Exactly.
But I did something very different. I told nobody, not one single person, that I had cancer, not even my husband.
Wow.
The reason being, my daughter was in her last 6 months of medical school. I'm sorry, law school.
Oh.
I know she would have left. She would have came home. I didn't want her to do that. Additionally, my other two children, my husband, I'm like, right now, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to wait. Let me get all my testing done. And once I know what's going on, then I'll tell them. I don't want them to be going through this, what I'm going through right now. Like, what if it's worse? What if it's not? And then your mind goes everywhere. You're
Mhm.
like, and I was scheduling and working on a big party for her when she graduated law school. So we had this huge party, like wedding reception style, huge.
Mhm.
So I was working with all these people and coordinators and stuff. And then I actually sat and stopped one night and like, am I going to be here for that party? Am I going to be bald? Am I going to be so sick I won't be able to actually attend it? All these things go through your head.
Mhm.
And then, I throw that back and I become positive against it. So I'm going to be here. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy it until we know otherwise. That's what I'm going with. And I was like, right, Lord, right, Lord. And everybody was like, how could you do that by yourself? I said, it wasn't by myself.
Yeah.
I had God with me and my faith. And so I prayed a lot and I didn't say anything to anybody until the actual day of surgery. Up to
Wow.
then, about a week before, I just told my family, I have to have a hysterectomy. They're like, why? I go, doctor really suggests I get one. Okay, wow. Well, okay, well, we'll be praying for you and let us know. Like, okay. So go to the hospital. My husband goes, you want me to take you? I go, no, no, no. John's going to take me. So John is my oldest son.
Okay.
So John took me and he was with me there. And I kept thinking, what if the doctor comes out and says, everything's great, we got it all, and we're sending it to pathology?
Yeah.
My son's going to be like, what are you talking about? So I told him that morning, and immediate tears dripped down his face. And he's looking out the window at the hospital, and the sun's on his face, and he's crying. He goes, Mom, are you being honest? I go, I'm being honest. Everything looks good. The doctor's saying it's very low. They see a good outcome, barring any complications. And once they do pathology, then we'll know more. He's like, okay. I was okay. He goes, wow. He goes, I would have never guessed it. He goes, how? 3 months and you've not, how?
Yeah.
When you're a mom, the love of a mom just is something else.
Mhm.
But anyhow, so doctor came out that day, talked to him, gave him good news. And I woke up later and he relayed it to me, and the doctor came and saw me the next morning and said it looked really good, that he was able to get the uterus out intact, complete, like he needed to, because
Okay.
especially if there's cancer in there, some people, they section it and take it out in pieces. But when there's cancer, they want to take it out intact. So
Yeah.
they were able to do that. He said it was small, it wasn't inflamed at all, which was good news as well, because
Mhm.
there wasn't a lot of, it hadn't gone in a lot of places. So we were grateful for that. Of course, we're waiting for results from the lab. Lab
Mhm.
work came back looking really good. He says,
Oh, good.
I really don't think you're going to have to go on, any kind of heavy treatments. He goes, I do want to do a little bit of pills with you for a little bit. He goes, maybe about a month or two. He goes, and maybe some hormones. He goes, we'll see as we're moving along. But I was very fortunate. Along that time with getting well, we had some unusual rain in California. It rained from like December to like March. Like we hadn't had rain in forever. There was a good 2-3 months that where it just rained like crazy. So while I wasn't feeling good because of the medication, nobody knew but my son. So I was able to play it off like, oh, let's put the fireplace on and get cozy, get a blanket, lay on the couch. when I
Mhm.
felt horrible from the
Aw.
medication. So, but everybody thought, well, I was just getting warm on the cozy on the couch, Didn't know I was sick. And taking medication, it made me feel horrible. And, I got through that. That was about another 2 months after the surgery. So I started feeling better like in May. The party was June 4th. I was like, I gotta get good. I gotta get good. I gotta get my energy. And I did. Things started coming back. My son helped me with the rest of the planning for the party. He took over pretty much. He took care of me like crazy. He was able to work from home, and he was able to be at my house and stay with me and just make sure I had everything I needed. And, he just looked at me and winked from across the room and stuff. And what can I get you? And I'm good. I can get my own stuff. Whatever. He goes, oh, relax. Let me get you whatever you want. And he was amazing. He took great care of me. So I was very blessed that it turned out the way it did. But ladies, anything
Mhm.
unusual, speak up. Speak up. Makes a world of difference. World of
Mhm.
difference.
It does. And in January, Claudia, that's when I had my first little bit of bleeding in January. It was light pink. It was so light pink. I'd look at the toilet paper and I'd go,
Mm-hmm.
is there a pink hue on this? Because I always
Exactly.
use white toilet
Exactly.
paper. Like, is
Mhm.
that really something? But it did it, every day, like a little bit more. And the next day there'd be a little bit more, but it was always pink. My period in January, it was always just a light pink. And then in February, though, it was red. It was
And
red in
for
February.
me,
But
all
in
it was,
January, the first one, it was pink. And
for
then
me, it
March,
was
I
just,
didn't have one.
for me, it was just that one day, that one time, pale pink, like baby pink, the size of your little nail on the tissue. One and only time.
Wow.
So if I had not said nothing and just threw it in the back like, oh, that was nothing,
Yeah.
like I said, good thing I mentioned it. Good thing I mentioned
Mhm.
it by the grace of God. But I went on to have they keep you under surveillance is what they call it after. So every 6 months I go to my oncologist and get different tests done, and they are able to, of course, have a physical exam. And so far so good. Thank God everything looks good. But it's for 5 years. Yes.
Good.
So one of my last appointments, I think it was, I know, when it was all over with, my doctor was in there talking to me. And he's a silly guy. I just loved him. I was so blessed to get him as the oncologist as well. And he was being silly. He goes, so what do you want? I go, what do I want? He goes, you, for all intents and purposes, have beat cancer. What do you want? I go, just some R&R, just some relaxation, just relaxing time. He goes, he gets up and he reaches out the door and he calls his nurse. He goes, blah, 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 whatever. Bring me a prescription pad. And she comes over and she goes, you're not going to do it on your electronically? We always send prescriptions electronically. He goes, I need a pad. Okay. So he brings a pad over and he goes, I'm going to write a prescription for you. I'm like, okay. And I'm wondering like what I have to take still, what I need, what I got to do. And he wrote a prescription for me, and I read it. It was hilarious. I sent the picture to Gina, and she was just laughing. Look at this prescription, guys. Isn't that amazing? No laundry and cooking for 6 months.
Yay.
My son must stay on nurse duty for 6 months. God bless him. He was the best. And then a Hawaii trip in 6 months. Ta-da! Where am I?
And she's in
Hawaii!
Hawaii.
In
She's
Hawaii!
in
In
Hawaii.
Hawaii!
Yay.
And it has gotten awfully glum right now. The trade winds came in. Let me turn this around real quick. My balcony, but it was beautiful and turquoise a few hours ago. We were out in the ocean, but trade winds came in. And it looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain for about an hour, and it's going to blow back out. But what an amazing view that is out in the far off. You can see Diamond Head, that little mountain out there. Yeah, so that's my balcony. I got amazing view. But yeah, just blessed for the whole thing that happened. This picture here, I gave to my oncologist, and things that I was able to experience after the surgery. So on top, my daughter graduated law school.
Yay.
That's the one. Yep. She believed she could, so she did.
There you
And
go.
And that's the same girl over on the right with her fiance. She's now engaged, and they will be getting married New Year's Eve, 25 to 26.
Cool.
And then my husband and I, under that photo, we celebrated our 40th anniversary and did renewed our vows on the beach here.
Sweet.
And then to the left of that, those are my kiddos. That's John, Jasmine, who goes by JR. She's the attorney. And then Sophie, the younger one. And there's Sophie on the bottom with her glasses on. And then the bottom one there is my son's, one of his graduations. He's one of those, has multiple degrees guys. So that's us with him there. And I'd given that to him. And my kids all wrote notes to him, thanking him for taking care of mom and what it meant to each one of them. And how amazing one person that he is that sacrificed so much to go to medical school, to be able to do what he does. And he's also a specialist that runs around teaching his technique all over the United States, because I was very blessed to get him. There, ladies, in case you don't know this, when you have a hysterectomy, it's very important that they put everything back in a certain manner, because now your uterus is no longer there. There's this extra space.
Right.
If things don't get put back, just so, you can have incontinence issues, you can have issues with your bowels, all kinds of stuff. I've been blessed to be as normal as possible after that. So they sent him this picture, and he's so funny. He just always is a jokester, and he's silly. Dr. Bristol's amazing. And, so on Valentine's Day every year, I'm going into their office, taking the girls all the goodies, and I take him something. And this year I ordered him a beautiful big, I wish I had a picture of it right now, a big, beautiful crest of his last name. It goes back to England, the history of his name. And he loved it, and he put it up on his wall in his office. And just a special guy. You know, there are doctors, and then there are doctors. And this one guy is so funny, personable, down to earth, silly, goofy, just makes you feel at ease at a time when you are a mess.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a mess. Nobody ever wants to hear the word you have cancer. Okay, so this is my honey, my hubby, been married 40 years. This picture was about, I don't know, about 25 years ago, maybe. And that was my highest weight. There I was 347.
Okay.
So today I am at 228.
Yay!
Yeah. And this picture was the morning when we were leaving LA on Valentine's Day to fly out here.
To Hawaii.
To Hawaii, yeah. So
to
I'm
Hawaii for Valentine's Day.
I'm wearing my Valentine stuff. I have my little Hawaiian coat.
Yeah, because today's February 17th, if you're watching this on replay.
Yes.
February 17th, 2025. So she's been in Hawaii for 3 days now, huh?
Yeah, and yesterday was my birthday, celebrated 63.
Yay!
Yeah, and this morning I made that lay down in the lobby. They have, well, actually it's a big, beautiful room they have down there. And they were doing lay making. They had hula lessons, all kinds of stuff going on. They do it like every 2 hours, something different. And so I stepped in and made this lay today. It's the one I'm wearing. And then Saturday, every time we come to this island, I'm on the island of Oahu. We go to this one private beach. It's a road that only has about 8 houses on it, and it's a private beach, and that is where we spread my mom's ashes in 2015 when she passed. So every time we're here, we go down to that beach and we hang out for a while, take just goodies and snacks and chill. Like if somebody goes to the cemetery, you know, to visit whatever past person was. But this time I brought this little Jesus and I put him right there and I took a picture of him, and I've been leaving him all over the island. My son goes on cruises a lot and he leaves them all over the cruise ships, like how people leave the little ducks. He leaves these everywhere. And we do it all over town. We do it everywhere. So when I saw Gina pick that one up that day, that's what made me finally say that, oh my goodness, I got to comment. I need to talk to her. I need to say something. And it was silly because Jeff was singing, he goes, I got to make up a little song about little Jesus. And we've been saying that too. And so we were driving the other day and trying to come up with little lyrics about it. We were driving. It was so funny. So I took this one the other day. This is right at the base of Diamond Head, right under the lighthouse. where
Oh,
we're there.
beautiful.
Yeah, so that's one of the little places we took a picture. I sent that to Gina, you guys.
Yeah, and that's what she sent to me was the picture of her baby Jesus, and then let me know that I'm your Bopsy twin.
Yeah,
I
it's
was
really
like,
funny.
oh my gosh.
It's not baby
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
Little Jesus.
Little Jesus. Little Jesus. 'Cause
Jesus on
everybody needs a little Jesus.
Yeah, so you know what's funny though? When I give these to people, I'll usually go like this for them to open their hand, right? I go, open your hands, but they go like this to me instead. When they see my hand, I go, no, open your hand. Give it to them. I go, everybody needs a little Jesus in their life. And they're like, oh my goodness, thank
Yeah.
you. And
I
so a lot
love
of people
it.
tell me they put it in their car on their dashboard. A lot of people tell me that's what they've done with them.
Yeah, I'm taking him in our next travels in our
Oh,
van that we've named
yeah.
Grace because we want to
Yes.
travel in God's grace. So it's so perfect to bring my little
Absolutely.
Jesus with me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have about, if anybody's wondering where to get them, you can get them on Amazon. You can buy, I think, in groups of, quantities of 25, 50, and 100, something like that. So my son bought like 5 bags of 100. And we just always give them out. So we have a bunch of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Give 'em out.
cute.
Gave a couple out at the pool today. Oh, look at that. Was today at the pool. You see at the top of the book?
Yeah, at the top of the book is
Yeah,
her
the little Jesus. That's a
is her
one
little
with the white.
Jesus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was out there reading my book, and then I actually gave that to a lady who was sitting about 5 people to the right of me. She was actually doing a Bible study by herself. She had a little pen out in her Bible, and she was in the shade. So when she walked across and passing me, I said, "Excuse me, actually, should I go?" She goes, "Thank you," and I said, "Yeah," and she goes like, "Thank you so much. Where did you get this?" So we started talking, and she was from Alaska.
Ah,
So we started chatting, and she asked me where I got them as well. She said she wanted to get some, so that's nice. Sometimes a lot, little conversation started with different people. You know,
yeah.
I had a gentleman recently. I gave one to, and he said, "You know what? I need this." And I said, "Well, I'm glad." He goes, "No, you don't understand. I need this." I said, "We all need a little Jesus." He goes, "No, I need this." He goes, "I had a relationship with God for many years. I got bitter, and I shouldn't have, and I need to repair that relationship with God." He goes, "I miss it and I need it." He goes, "So thank you." He goes, I'm gonna kind of work on that." I said, "Well, that's wonderful, it's wonderful." But when I saw Gina with that one, and with Jeff, because I was wanting to hear the results as well, because we've been praying for Jeff, and like I said, I hadn't chimed in very much, but I've been watching her forever. Like I think since 2023, summer of 2023, I think is when I started watching. Um, I found Anchor Moments, just all the stuff you had before, and then
Yeah.
like your book, and
Yeah.
then
I
I've been
haven't
doing
Jeff
the.
to find it for
Mhm,
me somewhere. Because
mhm.
yeah,
And then the one you're doing with the book club now. I'm behind. I'm only on 17, but yeah, that's just so good. It just helps you, like, you stop and think about, like, am I eating this to feed my fat, to fuel my
mhm,
body? Like, why am I even going to put this in my mouth? What's the purpose of it? What is it? How is it going to benefit me? So that's one
yeah,
of the things that I've taken from that stays in my head, stays in my mind, and it's been so helpful. Because I have sometimes
it
like,
really
no,
is.
yeah.
Yeah. Am I fueling my body with what I'm going to eat? Or
Mm-hmm.
am I fueling my fat with what I'm going to eat? And
Mm-hmm.
I could look at it and go, huh, and you know, and make that decision before it really helps. It really
Yeah,
helps me. That's what I learned the
definitely.
most out of the second book, the Alan Carr book. Yeah.
Hmm. A lot of the things that you say, Gina, a lot of the encouragement, and you don't even realize how much it touches us that are listening to you. And I'm sure there are other Claudias out there that have not chimed in. They listen to you and they're silent, but you are a wealth of knowledge, honestly, and inspiration, and just grateful for people like you that takes the time. This is not easy. There's a lot of behind the scenes work that has to be done before she goes live, and her and Jeff are, faithful in bringing this to us and helping us. And then, of course, the fun with the RV channel too. But
Yeah.
just grateful. And I know I speak for a lot of these people that are watching you and that come and watch later on replay, because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not able to catch you live, but I'll go back. I'll go back and watch it. And I sit through the
Aw.
whole thing and I watch it. And like I said, it's a lot of fun stuff, silly stuff. And my words, I was down to 2 words. And I was between determined and adventures. And I'm determined and
Ooh.
adventures. And I was like, well, I'm determined to have a lot of new adventures. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I went ahead and went with adventures, and there are so many adventures out there to be had, and in so many ways, in so many areas, and even like with determined to do things you haven't done before, to set goals and reach goals you haven't done before. I was able. I couldn't believe I even did it. I finished the 10K, and
Wow.
I was like, my word,
Did you
I
walk
actually
it or
did it.
run it?
It was a little of both, and it was for the
Okay.
Los Angeles. Some friends of ours invited us, so it was a 10K for AIDS Walk LA, and I was told it was a 5K. So I said, okay, I'll go, because they told me it was a 5K. But then when we got there, they go, it's a 10K. I'm like, what? They're like, okay, but don't worry, because if you get tired, there's a bus that comes around about every 15 minutes, and they'll pick people up and take them back to the end or the start if you don't feel like you can complete it and stuff. So I was kind of getting tired. But when we rounded and came on to Wilshire, and I could see up ahead, maybe about a mile or two, the big arch, the big balloon, and all kinds of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm finishing this. I'm crossing this line with everybody I came with. I'm going to be the pictures. I'm going to do this, and I did. And I was like, so like, I
Yay.
surprised. I was a little astonished, but happy, that I did it, and it felt good. It felt good to not quit.
Yeah.
Like in anything, it feels great to not quit and to reach the goal.
Exactly.
For all of us, and whatever that goal is, whatever you're working towards.
Whatever that goal is.
Whatever you're working towards, one day at a
And
time.
we want everyone today to take that to their heart. That's why I had to have you on today while you are in Hawaii. After
Yes,
getting that
ma'am.
prescription that 6 months after your surgery, go to Hawaii. Your doctor wants you to go. It's what he's telling you to do.
Yeah,
Um,
have to follow doctor's orders.
yeah. Now, and you mentioned too that one gentleman that you gave the little Jesus to,
Yes.
that he said he really needed it because he used to have a relationship with Jesus, and then he got mad at him for something, and it made him a little bitter, and he was ready to have that relationship again. Um, in my Anchor Moments book, I believe it's chapter 7, that happened to me too. When my best friend's son died of cancer before his 6th birthday,
Mm.
I almost lost my faith. I was so upset about it, and angry, because I had taken
Yeah.
my best friend to, and we went to a variety of churches. Uh, I had him on so many different prayer lists, and just did all the things, and he died anyway. And it was of course crushing for the family, but it was really crushing for me too, because I was over there all the time. 2 weeks before Michael died, my daughter was digging dinosaur bones in his sandbox with him.
Mm.
2 weeks before he passed. Um, I Anyway, it was really hard,
Yeah.
and then for a different reason, an entirely different reason, there was somebody at work who had really hurt my feelings. And I asked God to please help me be a more forgiving person, because I wanted to forgive this lady at work instead of feeling like I was going to throw up every time I walked past her desk.
Yeah.
And God fixed it. And it fixed it really fast. And I was like, wow, that's great. Thanks, God. You made me a more forgiving person. This is wonderful. But that was just that was the first little hurdle of quite the adventure I went on. And most of the things that took place in this book happened in about 1 month's time. And
Wow.
when you read through it, you go, oh my, all of that happened? Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah. When I asked God to help me be a more forgiving person, but one, uh, I don't want to give it all away, but in chapter 7, uh, he made me realize I hadn't forgiven him
Don't just skip
Mm.
about, don't just skip to Jeff said, don't just skip to chapter 7, but that was one of the pieces. And I learned, by the end of that month, uh, in just one big way after another, how to forgive myself, how to forgive others, and how to ask for forgiveness when I've made a
Absolutely.
mistake to somebody else and hurt somebody else and didn't mean to.
That's huge, Gina. Absolutely.
Mhm. And I created blog posts after each thing happened. I created a blog post for it, and then it was a few years later that I got laid off from a job that I really loved. And my husband told me, don't apply for unemployment because you'll have to look for a job. Take this time. We'll be okay. Take this time. Don't work. Write that book you've been telling me about. Take the time to write your book. And that's when I
So
wrote
good.
my Anchor Moments book, which started my Anchor Moments YouTube channel. And then when I got type 2 diabetes, I had a feeling like you, and I didn't want anyone to know. And I wasn't going to tell my mom, I wasn't going to tell my friends. I was going to tell Jeff, my husband, and I figured my husband will know and my doctor will know, and that's it. I didn't want to tell anybody.
Mm.
And then I ended up reaching out to one of my girlfriends, one of my besties, and she told me she'd had type 2 diabetes for like 20 years or something. And I'm like, you're kidding me.
Wow.
You never said anything? And she's like, oh, I don't like to talk about it, or. And then I was like, oh, good grief. You know what? There are other people that felt the way I did. And I thought, I need to stop this. And I know better, and I need to forgive myself, and I'm going to go public with my type 2 diabetes, and I'm going to try to help other people who are struggling with it too. And then I started adding that to my channel, and that's actually what helped my Anchor Moments channel grow, is my type 2 diabetes playlist, and doing my Mounjaro journey, which Claudia has been on Mounjaro for almost as long as me.
Yeah.
And how much are you down now, Claudia?
It's like about 49, 50 pounds. I haven't weighed this week, but yeah, 50 pounds.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Mhm. Yeah,
That
and I've been
fantastic.
fortunate. I've been very fortunate. Minimal side effects or issues. Very minimal. The one thing that has from the minimal thing, what it was a little tad nausea when I tried Trade Up, but not bad.
Okay. And what do you take for your when you feel that little bit of nausea? Do you
Nothing. I don't take anything. I'll just kind of go sit a little bit and kind of just be still. Maybe try and take a nap if I can. If I'm at work, then I kind of just push through. And I've kind of learned to time when I take my shot to not have it happen while I'm at work. So
okay?
I'll take my shot later in the day now, because usually it'll happen probably about 5 to 8 hours after I get my shot.
Okay.
So now I don't take it like right early in the morning anymore. I'll wait and take it like at dinner time.
Okay.
And I've noticed that's helped.
As a lot of people have different things that work for
Mhm.
them. My friend Robin, who was she was my special guest on our book club meeting yesterday,
Yeah.
um, with Alan Carr's Easy Way. And
Mhm.
she didn't tell us at that point, but she's told me in the past that uh, what she does if she starts to feel a little nauseous is she drinks water, and she realizes she needs more water. And when she drinks a glass of water, it makes her feel better,
Good.
and that nausea will dissipate. And for me, I live in Arizona. We're thirsty all the time. The air is so dry here, So I'm drinking anyway. But for me, if I have just and it doesn't happen very often, but if I eat something that doesn't sit well because it's a little bit more fat and calorie dense than I normally have, if and I get that twinge of I'll take a Tums, and if the Tums usually helps pretty fast, and if it doesn't help after about 10-15 minutes, I'm still a little if I take a Pepsid Complete, wipes it out. I am absolutely fine. Or another thing that I'll take is sometimes I'll have eaten something and it's creating a lot of gas in my tummy, and if I take a Gas X as well, that's Gas X and Pepsid Complete are the over-the-counter meds that work the most for me. But I save them for when it's really bothering me. And so if it's just the first little, I get a little tingle, I'll take a Tums, and usually that'll do the trick. And I'm telling you, I'll go weeks without needing a Tums or anything. But every now and again, I'll need it. And then, so I always like to carry a little bit with me, so that way I can nip it in the bud. And for me, the only real big side effect I have is constipation, but I stay on top of it. And that one of the best things that happened to me from having my hysterectomy is I was taking Miralax every day after the hysterectomy, and then I mentioned to my doctor, I guess I got to start weaning myself off of this Miralax because I'm afraid I'll get hooked on it. And he said, "Oh, Gina, now again, talk to your pharmacist, because see what other medications you're taking and make sure that this is okay for you. But with the medications and stuff that I take, my doctor said, Gina, you could take a dose of Miralax every day for the rest of your life, and it's not going to hurt you." And I was like, "Really?" And he said, "Yes." And I'm like, "Great," because when I take a dose of Miralax every day, I'm guaranteed to poop every day. And I've had a couple of people on the channel, on Anchor Moments, comment in the comments that they had tried Miralax and it wasn't working for them. So then they were really scared because of, with the constipation, and thinking they might not be able to take Mounjaro anymore or Zepbound anymore. And I mentioned to them, are you drinking a lot of water? Because when I had talked to my pharmacist and let my pharmacist know this was what I was doing, my pharmacist said, "Yeah, you absolutely can have Miralax every day with the things that you take. It would be just fine. But you got to be sure you're drinking lots of water all day long, because Miralax needs you to drink the water to make it work, because it works with the water in your body and then makes your stool softer, so that way it's everything can flush out. So if you're not drinking enough water, it can't work." And for me, I take it in the evening, my Miralax, in a nice tall 16-ounce glass of water. And the next morning, if I haven't pooped in the morning, then about noon or so, I'll go, "Uh-oh, I haven't pooped yet today." And then I'll drink 2 16-ounce glasses of room temperature water so I can chug it. And I will chug 16 ounces of water. And then within an hour or two, I'll go to the bathroom and everything will be good. Everything will pass through. Because it really needs not just the water while you're drinking it, but you need water all day long. The next day you need to continually be drinking water, so that way, because you're continually eating too. And so all of your stuff will pass through easily.
Yeah.
So you are taking Miralax. And I also found out one of my beginning videos, when I was first new to taking Mounjaro, I was eating fiber gummies. And because I had a family member tell me that fiber gummies really helped him, and he'd take 2 fiber gummies in the morning and 2 in the evening, and that did the trick for him. So I was doing fiber gummies. But I didn't take to heart that he was only doing 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. And they're delicious. They're gummies. They're like candies. And so they were in the kitchen. And every now and again, when I'd walk through the kitchen, I'd I'd take a couple of fiber gummies. And when before I had my hysterectomy, I had to have, where you have to have the ultrasound so they can measure how thick your uterus is,
Mhm.
And my gynecologist said, "Whoa, Gina, do you ever poop?" And I was like, "Yeah, I poop a little bit each day." And she's like, "You are so crazy backed up. I mean, like you are really backed up." And it really had shown in the ultrasound. And then she suggested I try some stool softeners. And but anyway, but I didn't realize. And I told her, "Well, I take fiber gummies." And she said, "How many of those you eat in a day?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, 6, maybe 8. I don't know.
My
I just, I take a couple every few hours or whatever." She was like, "Oh my God, you need to read the label." You're not supposed to have like more than 4 in a day. And you got to drink a bunch of water when you're eating those fiber gummies, or it'll do the opposite effect, and it can clog you up too. So if you're really constipated, don't think, "Well, I'll just keep eating more, and the more gummies I eat, the better it'll be." You've got to drink a whole bunch of water to go with those fiber gummies. And if you eat too many fiber gummies and not enough water, it's going to do the opposite problem and block you. So I had to learn that the hard way too. But somebody's got to tell you that stuff.
Yeah.
Who's going to tell you that, So you just
Oh
need your
my.
sister from another mister. So
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
All right. Well, let's see if there's more. Oh, here's you on a boat in
That was
Hawaii. I think that's the
yesterday, and we
last.
went out. Yeah, we went out on a catamaran yesterday, and so you're gonna get wet, and of course we got soaked. I'm soaked right there, but we had a blast, and I was also all sprayed down with sunblock because I burn like a rock lobster. I turn red,
Oh my
so I
gosh.
I was sprayed down. They're really good. But yeah, that's Diamond Head right behind me. We were out on a catamaran and we had so much fun. We were kept dipping and the waves were not too bad, but they were fun when it dips and goes up and down and the water comes at you. It's a lot of fun. And we actually got to see a pod of whales and they got really close and they were going up and down and we could see the water coming out of their spout and we followed them for a little ways
Oh,
and got some really good pictures of that too and video footage. It's pretty amazing. They're huge. They were the humpback whales.
very cool. Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's see. We got Mindy in the house saying,
Hi,
"Hey, hey, hey."
Mindy.
And Barb, health at any cost, because we started late today. We started
Yeah.
40 minutes later than I normally do. Says I'm going to have to hit the hay because it's like 11 o'clock, almost
Oh
11
my
o'clock
gosh. Yeah.
on the East Coast. So I'll have to zip through these here. And she says she's going to watch us on replay and says hi to everybody. And
Very
Sandra
nice.
says, "Hello." Oh, and I always ask people to share their wins so we can celebrate each other. And Sandra's win is,
Yay.
she says, "My win for the week is hitting 60 pounds down." Yay,
Yay.
Sandra! I still have a long ways to go, but I'm feeling so good already. Oh, we're so proud of you, Sandra. 60's great. That is awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And she's saying good night to Barb. And Mindy's still saying yay to Sandra before she goes. And who's the surprise guest? My buddy Claudia. And let's see here. And we got Susan in the house. Yay. Hey, Susan. Oh, and she's letting me know I was in the right one. I was in Anchor Moments. Yep. So it
Good.
looked like Anchor Moments RV with a thing on top. Which, by the way, my Anchor Moments RV channel, if anyone does like traveling channels, and I'll be taking you along on our adventures with us, we are 54 people away, or we're 54 subscribers away to our 1,000 goal. So
Yay.
we're getting so close. So if you really enjoy this and wouldn't mind seeing some of this, Jeff and I on the road, you might want to check out that YouTube channel as well. And Bia says, Gina, today when I inject the dose of Mounjaro, the second click didn't inject properly. Oh, the second click was weird, Bia. That's unusual. Did it look like the stuff came out of your pen? Like when you go like this, like here, I haven't taken mine yet, which I do need to take it now. If you look, let me go back to just where it's the two of us. Well, I've got to pull this part out, but I can see there's a bubble. I can see the liquid. When I go like this, I can see the liquid bubble. So the medicine is in there. I'm going to give myself my shot right now. And as soon as I'm done with my shot, instead of having this liquid stuff with the bubble, there's going to be a gray spiral right there. Here, let me go on. Just me right here. See if I can make that big. So right now, there, could you see that bubble?
Mm-hmm.
The liquid bubble? Okay, that's the liquid bubble. I think I'll just do my tummy today because it's easiest for me to do. I always take out an alcohol swab and wipe my stomach. I'll do it right here up high today. And then you always take the cap off first before you do anything else. If you don't take the cap off first, it breaks the shot. So the cap has to go off first. And now maybe it's easier. Is it easier to see the bubble?
You can see it well.
I don't know.
We could see it.
Anyway, there's the bubble. And then I've got to twist from lock to unlock to the green unlock. All right, I've got that twisted. I think that's right. Yeah, that's still a little damp right there. And then I'll push down. And see, now there's a gray
Spiral.
It's so shiny, so hard to see, but there's a little gray thing there. And you know, I couldn't feel it at all in my stomach, but it went in because the medicine's gone and it's not dripping down my tummy or anything. But that's the only way I know it works is now, where did the medicine go? Had to have gone in me.
Mm-hmm.
And since I had my shot out of the refrigerator for over 30 minutes, it didn't hurt. Couldn't feel it at all, but I could hear the two clicks. I'm hoping, Bia, that you still got it in you. I know it's hard sometimes because I know when I gave myself my shot the first time, I didn't think I could hear the second click, but then other people told me, yeah, that second click was there. I'm like, oh, okay, because being new to it. I hope it injected properly, Bia, because that's so disappointing if it didn't. And Nathan says, hey, Mounjaro family, how's everyone doing? Good to have you, Nathan. Oh, good. And Tina says, now it says Anchor Moments. Yeah, Jeff switched it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And yep, and everyone's saying hi to Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
And Tina says, when I did my injection for the third time, my pen did not click 2 times. I have heard if your pen doesn't work correctly, you can go on Eli Lilly's website and let them know. And there's a possibility they might actually give you a new one. That didn't click 2 times. And Tina, did the plunger go to the bottom? Did the plunger go to the bottom though? And was the medicine gone? So when you go like this, there's no liquid in there running around? Because if so, it had to go somewhere, and it probably did go in you. But I tell you, it is weird when you leave it out of the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes and you give yourself your shot, you can't feel it. So you wonder, did it really go in or not? But if the medicine's not in there and it's not dripping down your belly or down your arm or down your leg, wherever you gave yourself your shot, you really did make it in. It just was fast. And yeah, and people are saying hi to each other. See, I love this group. We're a friendly group. And we got Val in the house too. Woo woo. And Val says, Bia, keep the pen that malfunctioned and call Eli Lilly and they'll give you a replacement box. I love you guys. And I love it when you help each other out. Yeah. And I've heard that people have had good luck with Eli Lilly when there's an issue. And Bia says, thanks, Val. And Val says, vision boards work. We have everything on the last board and need a new one. Yay! Yeah, and this is my first vision board. And you guys, it's already worked for me. When I had Mindy on my show, gosh, I don't know, about a month ago, Mindy talked about there's a cruise that the Downsized that we're doing, a husband and wife couple who also have a YouTube channel, and they love to go on cruises. And so a lot of their people said, hey, take us on a cruise too. So they talked to their travel agent, and their travel agent is setting up a Downsized at sea in June. And Mindy said, you and Jeff should go. And I told her, Jeff will never go on a cruise. We'll be married 35 years this next month. And I ask him all the time, let's go on a cruise. And he always says, no, I'll just sit around and get fatter. All I want to do is just eat the whole time. I don't want to do that. And I can never get him to go. So I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. And then she said, but remember, Gina, that Jeff said embrace is his word for the year. And that he would embrace the challenges of travel, even if he feels a little scared, and do it anyway. And I was like, huh. So the next day I talked to him and I showed him the vision board and showed him the embrace and explore together. And I said, I tell you what, it's only 4 nights. And we're not going to get fatter on this cruise because we're going to be talking about the healthy options there are to eat on the cruise. And we'll be going to exercise classes and stuff together. It won't be an issue. And you know what? It's only 4 nights. And so I promise you, if you hate it after 4 nights of doing this, I will never nag you again and ask you to take me on a cruise. And he said, okay, and we're going. Yay! So we called up their insurance or their travel agent, and Jeff and I are going to go on that one. So if you want to join us, Claudia, I even have the travel agent put me and Mindy we're side by side. We're going to share we're going to be side by side with our balconies on the cruise ship. And I don't know if there's anybody on my side yet or not. So you might be able to have that opportunity. Yeah.
Hi, Mindy.
And Mindy guessed that you were in Hawaii, which I've never been to Hawaii before, Claudia. And that's another place I want to go that's on my bucket list. Yes. Hey, we got Cindy, Taz the Bulldog's mom in the house. Woo woo. Yay. And Pam says, hello, Claudia. Thanks for sharing your story.
Yes.
And this is the push I need. I'm supposed to be making an appointment for my gynecologist. I've been procrastinating. Lots of annual tests the last few weeks. I'll be calling my doctor tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Pam. Because you know what? We don't want to lose you. We don't want to lose you.
Absolutely.
Gotta take care of your health. And yeah, go ahead and talk to your doctor and ask them all those, that's one thing you're going to get from my channel is I'm not a doctor, but I'll give you a lot of different reasons to see your doctor and the questions that you'll want to ask them. And well, let us know how it turns out. And hopefully everything is all good. But if there ever is anything that's not, you want to find it in the beginning stages, just like Claudia. She'd only bled for 1 day and it was just the tiniest little bit of pink. And by golly, she had stage 1 cancer, but she didn't wait on it. Whereas if she would have waited a year, it could have gone to a stage 2 or 3 or something really awful. And she got it taken care of. And that's what my doctor told me too. that if I would have sat on it for a year, it wouldn't have been precancerous cells. I would have had full-blown cancer. And it was really good that they took care of it when they did. And Mindy says, yep, when the universe speaks, we must listen. She's right. And it's past her bedtime too. So she's heading off to bed.
Good night.
And good night. And oops, I lost my place. Ah, darn it. Where am I? Oh, and Nathan's saying good night to her. And Bia says, hi, Claudia. Thanks for sharing your experience. I learned a lot to listen to ourselves and take care of our beautiful body. That's right.
Yeah.
And Val guessed Hawaii. And you have an amazing doctor. You really do, Claudia. You
Great
have an
oncologist.
amazing doctor. And Cindy says total blessings and is happy for you, Claudia.
Man, thank
And
you. Man.
as the Bulldog's mom, Cindy says, I always think that when someone dies, it's their resurrection day, and that is our goal. That helped me deal with the loss of my mom and my son. I thought and think that the closer I stay to Jesus. Yep, that's what I used to tell the kids in religious education when I used to teach that to the third graders. I used to teach a third grade religious education class at our church. And I told them, if you live to be 100, your life is this long. If you live to be 50, your life is this long. If you live just to be a baby, your life is this long, just this long. But your life in heaven after you die is from here all the way past the moon and the stars. It just keeps going to infinity, just going and going and going. So all we're dealing with is this little bit right here on earth. But what's going to happen afterwards will last forever. And that's what helped me get through losing Michael when he was 5. And Cindy says, I always think that when someone, oh yeah, that's what I just read. Okay.
Mhm.
And the closer I am to this, and the closer I am to my son and my mom, forgiveness is hard, but it's beautiful. Yeah. Yep. And Brenda says, hello, everyone. As always, late to the party. I pray everyone's doing well. I use Metamucil and Smooth Move tea at bedtime. I've tried the Smooth Move tea too. It's actually pretty delicious. And she says, I do try to get 80 to 100 ounces of water a day. Yep. And that really helps. And that is a good amount of water. That's what my registered dietitians told me when I took that type 2 diabetes class. That's a good amount of water, 80 to 100 ounces. And Nathan says, don't forget your shot, Gina. Yep. I did it this time. And I forgot last week. I couldn't believe it when I got, and I think you had even reminded me, Nathan. And then I started chatting again and I didn't do it. We got Pammy in the house too. So both of our Pams are here. Yay. And Bia says, yes. And Pammy says, I went to a neuro gynecologist today, but it's more for bladder urgency. The doctor says it's very common as we get older. Thankfully, it's not a dropped bladder. One ligament is prolapsed or lower. Hey, Pammy, you know what helped me? After I had my hysterectomy, I had different tests and stuff done by my gynecologist before she'd let me try hormone replacement therapy. But I take a little bit of testosterone, just a little bit. There is a doctor on a female urologist that one of you guys told me about her, and I started watching her channel before I went to my gynecologist, so it gave me the right questions to ask. And her name's Dr. Kelly Casperson, and she is awesome, a female gynecologist. And she had said that, women naturally have testosterone in our bodies too, and our testosterone levels drop as well as our estrogen as we get older. And that a little bit of testosterone can help you with bladder urgency. And sure enough, I've been on, I take an estradiol patch on Mondays and Fridays, and it's a low dose one. And then I take just a teeny weeny bit of testosterone gel, and I don't have bladder urgency anymore. And I can laugh and sneeze without having to cross my legs. And I've had that for a long time. And so it's made life so much better. And that really made the difference for me. But again, it's something you have to talk with your doctor about. And they did run some different tests. My doctor, my oncologist gynecologist who did the hysterectomy, his office highly recommended I do the test to see if I have the genes that are more likely to have cancer. There's some kind of test to take, and my regular gynecologist before putting me on was really saying that she'd really like me to have that too, and because I did have the high grade precancerous cells, but it turned out I was okay with that, and I passed that one. So anyway, so I'm on low dose estrogen and very, very low dose, but just a little bit of testosterone. But it's made a huge difference for me with bladder stuff. And Pammy says, then I go back in April to be sure I don't have any cysts in my bladder. I did that too, and had I had a cystoscopy where they went in and took a look around just in case, because my grandpa died of bladder cancer, and I was having some issues, but nope, no cysts or anything. And that little bit of testosterone cured it. So I'm good now. And Bia says, some got in, but not completely. Do you know for sure what she's saying there, Claudia?
Her medication on her shot that didn't click twice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Sometimes that will happen to me, and I'll have a little bubble of medicine that didn't go in. And when that happens to me, it's always when I'm standing. So if I do it in my leg and I'm standing, and sometimes when I do it in my stomach when I'm standing. So it is best for me to do it when I'm sitting, because that's happened to me maybe 3 times now, but 3 times out of 58. So it's not a lot of times, but oh, shoot. Sorry about that, Bia. And Pammy says, females have so many health things that we have to deal with. We sure do. Oh my gosh. Thanks, everyone is amazing. You are so welcome. And Pammy says, Cindy, I like that philosophy of remembering it is their resurrection day. I always imagine and see my mom running around with her siblings and family in heaven. Yeah. Yep. And Pammy says, yay for Mindy. And Pammy says, friends, I posted a new video today. I'm adding a few low carb, high protein desserts that I've been making. Ooh, sounds good. We'll have to check that out, Pamaroo. And Pammy says, my sister-in-law was having bleeding too, spotting. She had cervical or ovarian cancer. That was about 29 years ago. She hasn't had any reoccurrence. Yay! And she's 74 years old. Yep, because when you jump on it right away, you can live a really long time. So you just don't want to let things sit and fester. You got to take care of it right away and you'll be okay. And Nathan says, oh, Pam, guess what? I found a Cocoa Pebbles flavored protein powder. Oh, interesting. I'm excited to try it. You'll have to let us know how that is next week, Nathan. And Pammy says, love to you all, especially losing a child. I know that's the worst. And okay, Dr. Kelly, I think it's C-A-S.
Capcertin.
Capcertin, is that what it is? But it's C-A and there's an S before the P. Cas, and I think it's like person, like a person, P-E-R-S-O-N, I think.
Oh,
but Dr. Kelly, and her channel is called You Are Not Broken, and it's awesome. She's amazing, and she's so fun to listen to. Very spunky, really neat lady. Nathan said, Gina, I'm super excited to see my dermatologist in May. Good, and get that taken care of too. Absolutely. And maybe get those skin tags taken care of that were driving you crazy. And Pammy says, Oh, wow. I'll have to check into this. Yep. And she's congratulating Nathan. And Pam says, oh, that sounds great, Gina. Yeah, I'm racing to the bathroom. It hits fast. Yep, that's how it was for me. And I would tell him I was having some leakage, but it's not like I'm sitting on the couch. It's while I'm running to the bathroom. As soon as I start to pull my pants down, then, it's like, dang it. And then I got to change my clothes and be like, I'm right there. The toilet's right there. But the urgency would hit so quick. I just couldn't run to the bathroom fast enough. But now it's gone. It's all taken care of. That testosterone really did the trick for me. Yep, cystoscopy. Yep, is what Pam's going to have with her urologist. And have you tried that flavor, Pam, the cocoa one? And Gina, have you made any new ice creams recently? Yes. So there's my two favorites now are I like making the Fairlife chocolate milk with a little bit of PB Fit, which is peanut powder in there. So it has kind of a chocolate peanut butter flavor to it. And I'll sprinkle just a dash of salt on there. And I like to throw in a tablespoon of monk fruit with allulose in there to sweeten it up just a teeny bit more. Delicious. I think that's Jeff's new favorite. And then another one I like is I take half a banana and Vital Proteins has a whey protein too that has whey protein with collagen in it that's vanilla flavored. And I'll take 2 scoops of that, a half cup of Fairlife whole milk, so it has just a little bit more fat in it, and half a banana. And I'll blend that in a blender first so it's all totally blended up with my banana just being blended to smithereens in there. And I'll add an extra tablespoon of monk fruit and just a little sprinkle dash of salt. And I tell you what, it reminds me of like banana cream pie. I love it. And very high in protein and healthy. And I just love it. And then I'll crumble a little bit of walnuts on it. About 15 grams of walnuts, which is 100 calories worth of walnuts on it. Stir that together, and that is just it is such a healthy snack. And I'll do that, and maybe eat some get a bell pepper and cut bell pepper strips, and that could be lunch. Lunch or dinner by having some vegetables with it, and then I've got my protein, and it's delicious.
Hey, Gina.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna have to get going. I have about 10% battery left, but I want to show you guys something real quick.
Okay.
Move around here quick. All right, I'll show you the.
Hi, Paula. What do you got for us, Claudia?
Can you see?
What is? Oh, look at that! Look at the ocean out that window.
My balcony.
Oh my gosh, out your balcony. Oh, Claudia, you got to go and have fun. And everyone's saying good night. And Nathan's going to get some stuff taken care of with his doctor too. Yay. I think we got all the things. Oh, look at your beautiful hotel. Wait, you know what? Oh,
my birthday decorations.
There we go. Look at, oh my gosh, and your beautiful hotel room in Hawaii. Oh, happy birthday, Claudia. And thank you so much for reaching out to me today and then being willing to be on my show in the same day that I asked you.
Absolutely.
And pictures to me and stuff and to share with us. It was just
absolutely
a delightful.
My pleasure. I'm so glad we were able to share with people how important it is to get those appointments.
Yes.
And I'll leave you guys with this beautiful view, and I'm going to sign off now.
Okay. Oh, look at that ocean. Yay. I'm so glad your doctor gave you that vision board of prescription.
A prescription, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a prescription. You're to go to Hawaii in 6 months.
Mhm.
That was the best. And look, and you did. Yay.
Yes. All right, guys. You take care. God bless. See ya.
You too. Bye, Claudia, my other Bopsy twin.
We'll be in
Woohoo.
touch. We'll see ya.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. See ya.